Did you know that 75% of communication is how we say something, not what we say? Shocking, right? Yet most leaders focus only on their message, neglecting how they deliver it. The truth is, mastering your communication style could be the key to your success. Studies show that leaders with strong communication skills are 60% more likely to inspire trust and gain respect from their teams. But here's the catch. Being articulate isn't just about speaking clearly, it's about connecting with your audience in a way that influences, inspires, and motivates them. In this video, we'll show you how to become a more articulate leader, starting with simple but powerful strategies you can use right away. From perfecting your tone to learning the magic of pauses, we'll dive into techniques that will make your message stand out and your leadership stronger. Ready to speak with confidence and clarity? Let's unlock the secrets of great communicators. Chapter 1. The Power of Precision. Speak like a leader. When you speak, every word matters. Leaders know this, and they use precision to their advantage. Research from the Harvard Business Review shows that when leaders communicate clearly and concisely, they are seen as more credible and capable. Clarity doesn't just make you understood, it shows you've taken the time to think through your ideas. A well-chosen word can carry weight, while vague language tends to lose impact. For instance, instead of saying, "We should try to improve," say, "We will improve." This small shift shows confidence and decisiveness, traits people respect in leaders. The more specific you are, the more your message sticks with your audience. When speaking with precision, avoid the urge to fill your speech with buzzwords. Words like synergy or innovative sound great, but they often say very little. Instead, be clear about what you mean and how you plan to get there. People appreciate leaders who communicate in simple, direct ways. It makes them feel confident in the direction you're heading. In fact, data from The Economist found that leaders who are concise are 60% more likely to be viewed as effective communicators. This is because clear, precise language builds trust. If you can't express your ideas clearly, people will doubt whether you can execute them effectively. Precision also means using fewer words, not more. Leaders who speak less but with impact are often remembered for their clarity. Think about Steve Jobs. He was famous for his minimalism, whether in his product designs or in how he communicated. He didn't say much, but when he did, it was meaningful. Being precise doesn't mean you should be robotic or overly technical. It means making sure every word you say serves a purpose. Every time you speak, ask yourself, does this word add value to my message? If not, leave it out. Also, don't be afraid to cut out filler words. Phrases like, you know, and, like, can undermine your authority. According to Psychology Today, these fillers can make you sound unsure of yourself. A confident leader knows how to communicate without hesitation. It's important to note that precision doesn't mean rigid. The key is to balance directness with warmth. Being clear and specific doesn't have to come off as cold. A warm tone, combined with clear language, makes you approachable and effective. Chapter 2. Mastering the pause. Silence speaks volumes. There's power in silence, especially when you're speaking. You don't need to fill every moment with words. In fact, some of the best leaders are the ones who know when to stop talking. Forbes reports that leaders who strategically pause during conversations are perceived as more thoughtful and persuasive. Think about it. When you pause, you give yourself time to think. This prevents you from saying something you might regret. A pause also signals to your audience that what you're about to say is important. Research also shows that pauses increase the emotional impact of what you say. University of Chicago studies have found that when people pause before delivering a key point, listeners are more likely to pay attention and remember what follows. So, instead of rushing through your words, take a breath. Let the message sink in. Pauses also create anticipation. Have you ever heard a speaker pause right before a big announcement? That moment of silence builds excitement and keeps your audience hooked. Think of it like dramatic timing in a movie, the moment just before the big reveal. Many great leaders, like Barack Obama, have mastered the art of the pause. He often uses silence to give his words more weight. It's not about talking less, it's about making every word count. And don't forget that silence allows your audience time to process your message. In a meeting, for example, pausing after you ask a question gives people the space to think, not just react. This shows you value their input and want meaningful conversations, not just quick answers. The best communicators also know how to control the pace of a conversation. If you're speaking too quickly, it can overwhelm your audience. A steady rhythm, with pauses sprinkled throughout, helps keep people engaged. Your message comes across as thoughtful and well considered. So, next time you're about to speak, remember, you don't have to fill every moment with words. Silence isn't awkward if you use it to your advantage. A well-timed pause shows confidence and control. Chapter 3. Storytelling 101. Transform your ideas into memorable narratives. The most effective leaders are often the best storytellers. Storytelling is more than just entertainment, it's a powerful tool for communicating ideas and inspiring action. According to Harvard Business School, storytelling is a key factor in a leader's ability to influence others. When you tell a story, you don't just share information. You bring it to life. Instead of saying, "We need to increase sales," tell a story about how a new product change helped a similar team improve their numbers. This paints a vivid picture in your audience's mind, making the idea more memorable and relatable. One reason storytelling works so well is that it taps into emotions. People remember stories far better than facts or statistics alone. Research from the New York Times shows that emotional connections increase retention by up to 70%. When people feel something, they remember it longer. Great leaders know how to use stories to make complex ideas simple. Instead of diving into dry facts, they weave narratives that clarify their points. For instance, instead of talking about a new policy, share a story about a team that benefited from the change. This humanizes the idea, making it easier to grasp. It's also important to know your audience. Tailor your story to resonate with them. If you're speaking to a team of engineers, tell a story about problem solving and innovation. If you're talking to a marketing team, focus on creativity and consumer connection. One example is the way Richard Branson communicates. He's known for sharing personal stories, like how he started Virgin Records, to inspire his teams. These stories are filled with real-life struggles and successes, making his leadership more relatable. But storytelling isn't just about telling personal anecdotes, it's about building a narrative around your message. For instance, if you want to explain the importance of teamwork, share a story where collaboration led to success. A compelling narrative helps drive the point home better than a lecture ever could. Also, don't forget the power of visuals in storytelling. A great leader doesn't just speak with words, they also paint a picture with their body language and facial expressions. This adds layers to the message, making it more engaging. Finally, remember that every story should have a purpose. Don't tell stories for the sake of it. Make sure your narrative reinforces the key message you're trying to communicate. When done right, storytelling can make you not just a good communicator, but a memorable one. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more leadership strategies. Chapter 4. The Art of Listening. Why the best speakers are also the best listeners. To be a great speaker, you must first be a great listener. Sounds simple, right? But it's often overlooked. Many leaders focus so much on what they want to say that they forget to listen. Studies show that 75% of communication is listening, not speaking. And yet, the average person only retains about 25% of what they hear. If you're not listening well, you're not connecting with your audience. Active listening is a key part of effective communication. This means fully engaging with the speaker, understanding their message, and responding thoughtfully. It's about more than just hearing the words, it's about understanding the intent behind them. When you listen well, you show respect for the other person's ideas and create a more open dialogue. Great leaders know that the best way to connect with others is by listening first. According to the Leadership Challenge, listening is one of the most important behaviors that leaders can exhibit. It builds trust, fosters collaboration, and shows that you value the opinions of those around you. When you listen, people are more likely to listen to you in return. Listening also allows you to adapt your message to your audience. A leader who listens carefully can adjust their communication style to meet the needs of their listeners. For example, if you're speaking to a team of creatives, you may need to speak in more broad, inspiring terms. But if you're addressing a technical team, more specific, fact-driven language may be necessary. But active listening isn't just about adapting your message, it's about learning from those around you. Leaders who listen well gather new insights, ideas, and perspectives. This helps them make better decisions and stay ahead of the curve. Another important aspect of listening is giving people space to speak. Don't interrupt. Let people finish their thoughts. According to a study from the Journal of Applied Psychology, interrupting can cause you to lose credibility and harm relationships. Leaders who allow others to fully express themselves create a culture of respect and inclusion. If you want to become a better communicator, focus on sharpening your listening skills. It's an easy way to improve your leadership without needing to speak more. You'll find that by listening, you'll speak less, but your words will have more impact. Listening is not passive, it's an active choice to engage, understand, and respond effectively. Chapter 5. Vocal Mastery. How to own your tone and deliver your voice is one of your most powerful tools as a leader. How you use it can either command attention or turn people off. A study from the University of California found that 38% of communication effectiveness comes from your tone of voice. Your words only make up 7% of the message, the rest is all about how you say it. A well-modulated voice can convey confidence, empathy, and authority. Leaders with strong vocal skills can control the pace of a conversation, make key points stand out, and persuade others to act. If your voice lacks energy or confidence, even the best ideas can fall flat. The first step in mastering your voice is to focus on your pitch. A monotone voice is the quickest way to lose an audience's attention. Studies show that people are more likely to engage with speakers who vary their pitch, tone, and inflection. This keeps your audience interested and helps emphasize key points. Another important factor is volume. Speaking too softly can make you seem unsure, while speaking too loudly can come off as aggressive. A study from the Journal of Business Communication shows that leaders who speak at a moderate volume are more likely to be perceived as approachable and confident. The key is to speak loudly enough for everyone to hear, but not so loudly that it seems forced. Pace also plays a critical role in how your message is received. Speaking too quickly can make you seem anxious or unclear, while speaking too slowly can bore your audience. According to the University of Texas, people who speak at a steady, moderate pace are more likely to be seen as credible and competent. Aim for a pace that feels natural and comfortable for both you and your audience. In addition to tone and speed, clarity is essential. Leaders need to articulate their words clearly to avoid confusion. If you mumble or rush your speech, your message gets lost. Practice enunciating your words clearly, especially when delivering key points. The clearer your message, the more your audience will trust your authority. Effective leaders also know the power of pauses. A well-timed pause can create suspense, emphasize a point, or allow your audience to digest your message. The Harvard Business Review found that leaders who pause strategically before and after key points are 35% more likely to be seen as influential. Mastering your voice isn't about speaking louder or faster, it's about using your voice strategically to create the right impact. The best leaders understand how to use their voice to inspire, motivate, and guide others toward action. Chapter 6. From Awkward to Authentic. Overcoming speech barriers. One of the biggest obstacles to being an articulate leader is self-doubt. Many leaders feel insecure about their speech, especially in front of an audience. But the truth is, authentic communication is often more impactful than perfect communication. Brené Brown, author of Daring Greatly, states, "Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome." When you stop worrying about how you sound and focus on being authentic, your speech becomes more natural. Authenticity builds trust with your audience, making them more likely to connect with your message. Leaders who embrace their true selves, flaws and all, are often more relatable and respected. One way to overcome speech barriers is to practice regularly. Public speaking is a skill that improves with practice. According to Dale Carnegie's timeless book How to Win Friends and Influence People, the best way to become a confident speaker is to engage in speaking opportunities as often as possible. The more you speak, the less nervous you become. Another strategy is to focus on the message, not the delivery. If you're constantly thinking about how you sound, you're likely to get distracted. Focus on the value of what you're saying and the impact it will have on your audience. When you concentrate on the message, your confidence will naturally follow. It's also important to embrace mistakes. No one is perfect. If you stumble over your words, don't panic. Acknowledge it with a smile and keep going. Leaders who can laugh at themselves show humility, which only strengthens their connection with their audience. People relate to leaders who are human, not perfect. To further overcome speech barriers, consider feedback from others. Asking for constructive criticism can help you identify areas of improvement and boost your confidence. Whether it's a trusted colleague or a professional coach, feedback helps you grow as a communicator. Finally, remember that authentic speech isn't just about content, it's about delivery. Your body language, facial expressions, and eye contact play a significant role in how your words are received. Leaders who make eye contact and use open gestures are seen as more genuine and persuasive. By aligning your body language with your words, you reinforce your message. In the end, the best leaders don't aim for flawless speeches, they aim for genuine communication. When you're authentic, your message becomes powerful. People listen not because of your perfection, but because they feel your passion and sincerity. So, embrace your authentic voice, and let it lead the way. Don't forget to subscribe for more leadership tips and techniques. We'll continue to explore how you can become the articulate leader you were meant to be.